over Elkhart West 28-20. In the first half, quarterback Lucas Granado found Brady Smith for a 21-yard touchdown pass to open the scoring. Granado added the 2-point kick. The Spartans went into the half down 12-8. The boys responded in a big way. Josiah Williams opened the second half, scoring with a 55-yard touchdown around the right end, dragging West defenders along the way. Lucas Granado found Aiden Fisher for a 60-yard touchdown pass early in the fourth quarter. Aiden Fisher got a huge interception to the Spartans 10 with 3 minutes left. After a 15-yard run by Carter Richardson, Josiah Williams ripped off a 65-yard touchdown run. The defense came up with a monster stop at the goal line to seal the game for the Spartans. Great win.
The 7th grade volleyball team won their first game of the postseason after having a bye in the first round. The team outlasted Pierre Morin 25-12 and 25-16. As a team, they collected 19 aces. Emmy Bedient led the way with 9. Cadence McLaughlin had 6, and Riley Nabalski had 3. The team was also dominant at the net with 16 kills. Shea Hall had 4, Riley Nabalski had 3, Aaron Rudge, Gigi Lavisa, and Cadence McLaughlin each had 2. This win was a total team effort. The team has now advanced to the Final Four in the Big 11 tournament this Saturday. The ladies play at 9 a.m., and if they win, they will play in the championship at 11 a.m. Make sure to wish your 7th grade team good luck. And now for a special announcement.
This past weekend, our Schmucker cross-country teams completed the season at the Big 11 finals. Our girls team finished the season with a record of 11 wins and 1 loss. Our goal coming into the season was to win the Big 11 championship for the 3rd year in a row. We accomplished that goal with the first place win overall finish in the finals, defeating Discovery by 10 points, and got payback on our only loss of the season.
The 8th grade runners that were part of the girls' team the last 3 years ended their Schmucker cross-country career with an amazing record of 34 wins and 2 losses, and most importantly, 3 consecutive Big 11 championships.
Well, congratulations, girls. I am so impressed. 3 years. That is amazing. So thank you for taking the leadership and making all of our Spartans proud here. So good job. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. But first, a joke submitted by Mr. Rice. 2 guys walk into a bar. The third one ducks. Now for a special announcement.
Oh my goodness. Right. All right, so we're going to start here this morning. I'm going to get my microphone on, and we are going to get ready to go.
You know, Mr. Rice is a pretty funny guy.
He
I'm
is.
not surprised that he had a
is.
joke for us today. So
I've got one coming up too.
you
So,
do?
yeah,
Oh, well, I need to get on my game. I don't have a joke yet. I guess I'm not that funny yet. I'll have to work on that. So good morning, everyone. We are so glad to be with you here this morning. So of course, Mrs. Dean Null, your principal, and
Mrs. Schuster.
8th grade social studies, and we are super excited to talk about an upcoming event that we have here at Schmucker Middle School. So if you are a 7th and 8th grader, you are definitely experienced, you have done this before, and you're going to be our local experts. For 6th graders, this is going to be new for you. But today, we want to welcome you to this special student-led conference edition of WSMS. So I want to let everybody know that conferences this year will be held on Monday, October 23rd, and Wednesday, October 25th, from 5 until 8:15 p.m. So our goals for those conferences is essentially you bring your family in, your parents, your guardians, and you sit together with them and you get to celebrate all that you've learned this year and also talk about goals that you've set for the future. So that's something that we really value here at school and is really important. So today, Mrs. Schuster and I are going to go through some of those things that you're going to create, some of those artifacts, and your slideshow that you're going to go through today.
Well, this year for student-led conferences, you will be taking your parents or guardians to your advisory classroom. You're going to be receiving a letter in the mail with all the details about this, and included in the letter is a confirmation slip for attendance. So that needs to be returned by Friday, October 13th. Your parents or guardians could also email your advisory teacher, but we just need confirmation by next Friday.
Perfect. So we made that easy for you. You can bring the paper copy or you can email, and our goal is to have 100% attendance. We want every single Spartan to be here and to talk about what you've learned and what you've done for this year. So I think what we're going to go and talk about next is we're going to talk through what you're going to actually share with your families. So while we're talking, the screen is going to kind of flip over to a slideshow that you're going to be presenting, and we're going to talk through that so everybody knows kind of what the plan is for this year.
All right, so you see in front of you the student-led conference template that you'll be receiving. This is a Google presentation, and in this you're going to, when you receive this from your advisory teacher, make sure you make a copy of the document and you're going to rename it. Please make sure your name and SLC 2017-2018 is in the title.
Okay, perfect. So now from this template, we've got like different pages that are going to go with different things you're going to highlight. So everybody knows we've been talking a great deal about our Spartan story this year and how we tell our story. If you remember back in the beginning of the year, we had our grade level meetings and we talked about telling our story in one word. And some of you gave me some really fun words that we were able to tweet out and share with people. So that was really fun. Now we're going to kind of take it to a next level. And this time you're going to tell your story using pictures. So we would like on the first page of this template, you're going to tell your Spartan story. So you're going to find 5 pictures, images, anything that represents your story for this year. So things that have happened to you so far this year, things that you're proud of, things that just remind you of your experiences at Schmucker this year.
And the next slide will be for your advisory class. So on this template, on this slide, you're going to share 3 of your favorite advisory topics or activities from this year. So you could include online safety, College Go Week that's coming up, Spark, if you're involved in that, 5-star, the Friday reading time that we have this year, goal setting on Mondays, team building activities, but you just need to pick 3 favorite things to share with your parent or guardian about your advisory class.
And this is what your advisory teachers will be working with you on. So at a minimum, it's 1 slide, but let's say that you maybe wanted to do 3 separate slides about 3 separate things that you're really excited about. You could do that too. We just want to make sure that we're talking about how important advisory is and what you really get out of it. So what you really enjoy with advisory as well. And be creative, right? So it doesn't have to just be text. You can use some pictures, you can use some quotes, any of those things. Be creative with what you do on those slides. Then the next slide is going to talk about our academic reflections. So this is where many of you have been doing your academic reflections digitally. So you can add some links into this page. So then when you're talking with your parents or your guardians, you can link up to this first one and say, hey, this is the first academic reflection that I did. Let me talk about where I wanted to grow. Then maybe you'll pull up your last one and say, here's the one that I finished at progress report time, and I was able to see where my grades are and how I'm setting goals for the future. So this, we just want to talk about what you do on Mondays in advisory. So your academic reflection time, and I would highly encourage you to link up some of those digital versions that you've already done earlier this quarter.
All right, the next slide will be period 1 reflection. So this is for every class that you have. This is a class reflection, and it should have 3 things for each class. The first question that you're going to answer is, where am I now? That's more like, what have you learned so far this year? And again, your teacher may have you do this in different ways. The second question that you'll be reflecting on is, where am I going? And that's, what are you going to learn this year? What's coming up in your content area for each class? And the third question that you'll be reflecting on is, most importantly, how do I get there? And that's going to be specific ways that you think about how are you going to achieve your goals in each class. So there may be some classroom teachers that are going to have you add some links or add some documents as well. But for every class that you have for your reflection, you'll be answering those 3 questions. Where am I now? Where am I going? And how do I get there? So if you see, and just go through those slides, there's period 1 reflection, there's one for period 2, and you'll be filling in each of the classes that you have all the way through period 6. So all your classes will have kind of like that same template for your reflection.
And there might be some 6th grade students, right? They might have to add a slide if you have 2 rotations. So you can be flexible with that, but your classroom teachers will help you add all of those slides so you have at least one slide for each classroom.
Okay. And the next slide, I'm kind of excited about this.
I am really excited about this one because this is new. This is new and exciting.
It is. It's my future story. So this is a new element to this year's presentation where you're going to be making a video about your future story. More details about this part of the process will be shared with you next week.
Perfect. All right, we can flip back over to us because that's all we have to share in the slideshow. So again, we are really excited about what we're doing for student-led conferences. So some of you might think, oh, this is familiar, a lot is the same, but we're also adding some new elements too. And one of those new elements is actually our support as we're creating and we're going through this process. So we are going to have a traveling technology team. So this is a big thanks to Mrs. Riley here in the IMC and all of her technology workers. So some of you have probably already utilized some of your peers because you've come down and said, oh, my Chromebook is missing a button, or oh, it won't turn on. And these lovely Schmucker students have been able to help you. So those same students are going to be traveling around in the morning during advisory time to just help if anyone needs help getting their slideshow saved correctly or it needs to be shared with them. These students will be able to help. So we're really excited for them taking part. And our goal for this week is by the end of the day on Thursday, because Friday will be our Friday read this week, but by the end of the day on Thursday, everyone has a slideshow in their Google Drive saved with their name, SLC 2017-2018, and are starting on that. So that's our goal for this week. But again, we've got lots of exciting things that we're going to be sharing in the future between the video, and we also have a lot of special events taking place on the evenings of student-led conferences. So we'll hear from National Junior Honor Society. Our PTO has some things organized. So you'll hear a lot more about those items coming up. So again, Schmucker, we are so excited to share. I want all of you to know we have so much to be proud of. And when I walk through classes, when I'm in the passing periods, we have so much to be proud of. And I see so many of you who are working so hard, whether it's athletics, like what we saw this morning, or whether it's in math class or in Mrs. Schuster's social studies class, you are working hard. And this is your time to show off. This is your time to shine and be so proud of all you do. So I want you to really put a lot of effort into this for what you're preparing to your parents and guardians who are going to come and see you. So again, we know we took a long time today, but we really wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same page and understood what we're doing for student-led conferences. So again, thank you for listening, and we're not going to end with a joke unless you have a joke.
No.
Maybe next time.
Yes.
We'll have a joke ready. But we hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Have a great day, Schmucker Spartans.